The story I tell starts with me watching an Orioles game. I'm like 8 or 9, and a commercial comes on for Ocean City, Maryland, the boardwalk. All these amusement rides, and then all these kids my age, and their boys and girls are holding hands and eating cotton candy, and the rides. I'd never seen rides like this before. And there was a roller coaster called the Wild Mouse, and everybody on the Wild Mouse looked like they were having such a great time. And my parents are sitting behind me watching the same ad during the Orioles game, and they see me watching the ad. And so they would start these conversations, just loud enough for me to hear, but not directed to me. Conversation.
That would have been too obvious.
No, and they were very, very sly about it. But it was like, gosh, John, look at those kids on that roller coaster. Isn't it sad that kids have to stand in line to be entertained like that? My dad would be like, oh, they look like they're going to puke on each other, Peggy. Look at that poor kid. And I'm listening to them, and I'm looking at the ad, and I'm like, well, no, I guess it is. I don't know. It looks kind of fun. But then they would just keep going with, of course, they don't have a big woods behind them to go back and be entertained. It was the same thing with our neighbors, right? They come back from Yosemite with pictures as they're driving off. Gosh, isn't it sad? Isn't it sad that people have to fly all over the country, to have fun? I mean,
just to go for a walk in the forest. We have one right there.
I never had any new clothes. I had 2 cousins who were both bigger than me. So every time there's like a fashion conversation or, talk of the mall, it's like, isn't it sad these kids have to walk around in these jeans that aren't broken in, to not have nice, worn, comfortable clothes? I'm just like, yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So yeah, that went on for years.
Yeah. And at what point were you like, I don't really pity the people that are wearing the latest fashions in school. Maybe it's me who's the sucker here.
Yeah.
Like 40 years old. 50.
Yeah, it recently, like last Thursday, it became clear.
Yeah. There are still times in my life where I'm like, wait a minute, that's not even true. And I'll call my mom, and she's like, oh, you believed that even then?
They told me that carry-out food, was for families whose mothers couldn't cook.
Yeah.
And that movies were for people, for kids who couldn't read. It was ingenious. And it not only worked in the short term, it inspired in me a level of superiority,
I'm sure,
and arrogance. Those was completely unfounded, but it allowed me to be in on the joke.
Yeah,
which I still to this day is a metaphor I use. I'm not sure what it means entirely, but it just allows you to be comfortable, with your own circumstances, whatever they are, and they were great at that. It was actually my brothers, to answer your question, who ratted them out.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Because I was on the front line of it, but they saw more. They were like, dude, we've been to movies. They're amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
you're gonna want to see one.
Mike, have you seen Batman? No, Timmy. I can read, and one day I'll teach you. I just don't have time right now.
And besides, costumes are for girls.
Yeah.